We are live, and this is the Last Rewind Dallas Cowboys review. All right, welcome to the late night edition of the Last Rewind, where we are going to talk about the game that just happened a few minutes ago between the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the Last Rewind, and before we get into what we're going to talk about, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you can continue watching shows like this from now on until the rest of the season, or until one of us blows our brains out to what Dak Prescott does to us for the rest of the season or his career, whichever comes first. What I don't know if I want to use the word thrilling game. Thrilling game, like it was like a struggle back and forth offensively or even defensively. I don't even know if to say the Steelers just played that great a defense. They did. I'm gonna give them their credit. But we won tonight, spoiler alert, in spite of Dak. Even though he threw a couple touchdowns, people will call it clutch, but we won in spite of Dak. What are your thoughts on that?
I will say you're right. We won in spite of Dak, but I will give Dak credit where credit is due. The last pass, that was a damn good pass. I mean, he made some. He threw two picks, fumbled, but that last pass, you got to put that ball on the money. You got to put that ball on the outside for only our receiver to get that ball, and that was a good pass. But like I said, it was in spite. I mean, it was a win. Win's a win, but I don't know if it's more so Dallas won or Pittsburgh lost. As a Cowboy fan, I am happy with what goes in the record books. It is a win for Dallas, and like I told you, in the middle of the game through text, that's the best I've seen the defense look all year without the stars.
Yes.
I would say that. I would say maybe with because D-Law is injured, Michael Parsons is injured. I would say that's the best I have seen the defense look all year without the stars. And the defense actually played a good game. They held them to, what was it, 13?
92. Were you talking about rushing yards?
No, the score.
Score. Held them to 17.
17. They held them to 17 points. Defense played a good game. We had a chance to put that game away several times.
Why couldn't we put it away, though?
That's the mystery that surrounds the Cowboy fandom. Why? Why do you got to give us this heart attack at the end, Dak? Why do you got to send us on this roller coaster of emotions if we're going to win or lose? Why do you got to get down to the one, hand it off to the running back, he fumbles. Thank God Dak recovered that. Let's not overlook that.
Yeah. That what was it? Dowdle at the very end. He jumped up, and a Pittsburgh defensive lineman knocked the ball out of his hand. And yeah, Dak luckily recovered that one. I was like, come on, man. Y'all ain't gonna tell me y'all not gonna score on this one now. Not again. Not this close again in the goal line position.
I was getting heated because I'm like, all right, so that we done lost yards because of the fumble recovery. And I'm like, all right, man, it comes down to this. And I give, like I said, I'll give Dak credit where it's due. That was a good pass. We should not have been in that situation because he threw two picks. He fumbled. That game should have been put to bed beginning of the fourth. That game should have, at least by the beginning of the fourth, we should have had a comfortable lead enough to the point where backups, at least Dak could have had Cooper Rush come in and finish out the game. But typical Cowboy game, this is what they do. This is what they do.
You know, Dak was getting close to his threshold, 352 yards, 42 attempts. That's when you're asking a little bit too much from him. If you don't have some balance on the running side, you're asking for him to eventually cough up the ball. And he did it, 3 times tonight. I said 2 interceptions.
2 interceptions and a fumble. Yeah. And oddly, this was also the best running game I saw with Rico Dowdle, with the exception of that almost fumble.
He had 87 yards off of 20 carries, 4.4 average yards, a long 13-yard run.
And he had that touchdown.
And he had a touchdown from Dak.
Which was, like I said, it was an entertaining game. That's what I would classify it as. It was entertaining. It was entertaining for both sides, Dallas and Pittsburgh. Sunday night football. It was definitely the ratings would definitely be there. It was entertaining. Thankfully, us as Cowboy fans, we got the win. But I mean, I believe Detroit next week. We got some work. Some work to do.
I was worried about, the game was delayed by an hour or so by rain. I said, man, if it rains through this whole game, this is going to be a sloppy game. Imagine if it rained, man. With how we played tonight, imagine if it rained hard.
We would not have won. If it was raining, we would not have won.
You depend on your running game a lot of times during these type of games or snow games.
Right, you gotta pin on the running game, and we will not have won. Did you see the friction between Dak and CD again?
I did. Him looking, getting pissed off, getting depressed on this. I mean, he had 4 catches in the first quarter. Did he have any more after that?
He had one. I mean, he slowed it. Dak slowed it down going to him.
He had one more catch. He had 5 catches the entire game.
Yeah, he only has 2 touchdowns the whole season.
Yeah, that's why he's pissed off. He's been pissed off since last year.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay.
He's been pissed off since last year. He got his money. I think he feels as if he should be a bigger focal point in the offense, He's
the only threat they got right now.
True. However, other teams know that, which is why he's not as big of a focal point. So when other teams know this is all you got on offense, you got to create other threats, which is why the tight end Jake Ferguson comes into play, which is why the running back Hunter Lipke comes into play, which is why it helps to see a nice run game from Rico Dowdle. This game comes into play. So although CD is the number one threat, the number one option, every team that plays Dallas knows he's going to CD. You double CD, you put CD in double. If he's in double coverage, where do you go? We need Brandon Cooks to come back. We can go there. You got Tober. I believe he's the one who caught the game winner. So, CD's getting paid like a star because he is a star and he is the number one option. But we need a number 2 option, and you got to rely on your number 2 when other teams know your number 1 is all you got. And for the love of God, I don't know why Zeke is even.
Thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, why is Zeke on this team? Why does Zeke even get to run at times? Is it just to give Dowdle or any other person a break? I don't understand what's the point of him even getting even the short yardage runs. What is the point?
There is no point other than the fact that it makes for a headline throughout the Cowboy nation.
Per average. He had 6 carries for 17 yards. That's pathetic.
Zeke is done. It comes full surface. I remember in 2016 when they played Pittsburgh. I remember this game like it was yesterday. Dak threw a screen to Zeke and he went flying down the field and scored. And we're not ever going to get that Zeke again. He's just done. He's done. I remember he was with New England last year. Actually, he looked better with New England last year than he does now.
Well, that's a year removed now. Only flying Zeke is doing now is from city to city when they go play other teams. That's the only flying he's doing now.
He's on a 1-year contract with Dallas. He would not be in Dallas next year.
He should have been on a per game contract. He should even got a whole contract for a year.
And we have what, Dalvin Cook.
Do we?
Well, he's on the team. He's on the practice squad. Why, oh why are we struggling when we have another opportunity at running back? You know,
he's not ready yet.
He may not be, but is Zeke ready? He's there.
Zeke ain't been ready. Whatever he been eating for the past few years ain't been ready for quite a few years now, since he got out of Dallas. He ain't been ready for the last 4 or 5 years.
But I mean, Dallas got some work to do. We're in the NFC East. The Commanders are looking like a threat.
Nice.
They're looking nice. Good. Which is why Dallas needed to win this game tonight. Because I don't foresee them winning next week against the Lions. If they want to just kind of stay at the 500 afloat, they at least got to win the given games. And you know, I made my predictions earlier in the
start. We put to play that part. You already jumped the gun. You already jumped the gun on that. That was supposed to be a mystery, but you already jumped the gun on that. Since you already did that, we're gonna go ahead and play the video then. See what you said about that. Let's play that right quick. Hold on, let me cue that up right quick and go through the special graphics and pop it up there.
There was so much, you know, controversy behind that game. Dallas won.
Hold on. Okay.
There was so much, you know, controversy behind that game. Dallas won. I don't think Dallas wins this year. Yeah. Because of that game, because the Lions are out for revenge from that game. It's in Dallas, so I believe they're gonna want to shit on Dallas's parade that Sunday because they're out for revenge in that game, and I think the Lions will pull that one out.
Yeah, that's what the prediction you made earlier this year. You think, and you're sticking with that. Detroit's going to win.
I'm sticking with it, especially after what I've seen the past few weeks. You know, Dallas scraping by this game. Dallas getting blown out by the Saints, despite how the score looked. That score is misleading because they were never in that game.
Garbage stats.
And with the Ravens game. I mean, the Ravens game, I was actually physically there at the stadium, and I will say they came back, but wasn't enough time and didn't get the job done. So with that being said, and the Lions are looking good this season. Yes, I'm gonna stick by my prediction with that. The Lions are going to win that game.
Well, I'm gonna let you guess on this one. Then I picked the player of the game. But I'm gonna pop it up here. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and guess who you think I picked for the player of the game.
Of this game that we just watched?
Yeah.
TJ Watt.
Well, I only give that to the people who win. I don't get to the people.
Oh, okay. I naturally thought you was thinking that the Steelers were going to win.
I did, actually. Up until the last second, I said anything's going to happen. If anything can happen, it's going to happen to us today.
Okay, so player of the game, if you got to give it to anybody on Dallas for tonight, Rico Dowdle.
Okay, let's see who I picked. I gave it to Jalen Tolbert.
Okay.
Yeah, Jalen Tolbert. Put that move out the way. Too much bang in the background. But yeah, Jalen Tolbert, I gave it to him because I think his purpose yards were, let me move this out of the way. I can't see myself. I think his purpose yards for receiving were the biggest things tonight. He had 7 receptions, 87 yards, 12 average yards per catch, and a touchdown. The very last one that won the game.
The game winner.
Yeah. I had to give it to him. Dowdle, I looked at him too. He was close. I almost kind of picked him, but I think Tolbert's were bigger on the grand scheme of things.
More impactful to the overall outcome of the game. I can see where you're coming from with that, but that goes to what I said earlier. Like the obvious threat is CD. We got to create other unrecognizable threats in this offense.
Yeah.
Tolbert is an example. Rico Dowdle is an example. We are now 3-2. We are 3-2 with CD Lamb only having 2 touchdowns.
Right. The wins we have are spite wins.
Right.
We're winning in spite of how bad we're playing on either side of the ball. Like tonight are good. We did defense great tonight. Other games, defense didn't show up. We couldn't even try to use the running game because we were behind early. This game, we finally could display the running game, but we did an okay night tonight. I think we had 87 yards, at least from Dowdle.
Rico Dowdle. Zeke had maybe
15, I think. 15. Yeah, he was a waste of time. Zeke had 17 on 6 carries. And he was the second leading rusher. So that tells you a lot.
I tell you what, Najee Harris for the Steelers, he was getting a couple. He was looking good. But going back to our defense, I think the young cats on the defense was like, we're gonna make a stand. We're gonna make it known that we don't need Micah, we don't need D-Law, and they did. Again, best display of defense from Dallas I have seen all year.
We held them to 92 yards rushing.
Held them to 92 yards rushing. Held them to what? 17 points.
Yeah.
Held them to 17 points. They didn't even break 20. I saw pressures. That's the main thing tonight. I saw pressure. They were pressuring the quarterback. Michael Parsons and D-Law. I haven't seen that amount of pressure in about 2 or 3 weeks. So if I got to pick a team or as far as offense, defense, special teams, which area of football that I was impressed with Dallas tonight, it's definitely the defense. They played good defense tonight. Kept us in the game. Dak pulled off some last minute heroics, and he won the game. But again, 2 picks and a fumble, we could have had that game put to bed early.
Yeah, because we were in the red zone at least 3 times.
We were in the red zone one time with the fumble, one time he threw a pick, and the second pick he threw, we weren't even in the red zone. I don't know why he threw that ball. It was 1st and 10. It was 1st and 10. You had time on the clock. You had time to run it. You had time to go deep into the playbook, but he threw into double coverage. I believe he threw it to Tolbert. It was not Tolbert's fault that it was a pick because he overthrew it, and it was just a bad pass.
Yeah, I don't get that. But I was just thinking, and you mentioned Lawrence didn't play tonight, and Michael Parsons didn't play tonight. And I wondered in the beginning because I saw seeing how they're playing. I was wondering maybe this unit was a little bit more cohesive because they didn't have this superstar that maybe feels he's above everyone else. And, he's the one that talking after the game, talking about, everyone needs to do their part instead of being the one to say, hey, it's all on me. I'm the leader of the team. I'm the leader of the defense anyway. So I have to do better instead of blaming other teammates. Since these 2 guys are off the team from being injured, maybe the team played more as a cohesive unit this go around.
You're right. I saw more of a cohesive, just unity overall on the defense. It didn't feel like the whole defense was surrounded was Micah Parsons. Like there was no storyline about one person on the defense. It was about the defense. I will say the cat Overshawn. I may be mispronouncing his name, but he's a good attribute to the defense. But like you said, I believe it was the fact that there was no quote unquote star on the defense tonight.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go out here and play. We're gonna go out here and play, boys, to win the game. We're not gonna play because we feel like we the star. We feel like we above everyone else. We just go out and play. And they did a good job. The defense did a good job. Best display of defense from Dallas all season thus far. makes me wonder, like, is D-Law and Michael out for a couple more games? Because I'll take this.
Well, I know D-Law is going to be out for quite a while, as far as I know. Micah Parsons, I'm not sure what his status is.
I would definitely take this. We got, and in the secondary, we got Malik Hooker, Trayvon Diggs is out there, and I believe DeRon Bland is gearing up for his return as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I wonder if Stephon Diggs, has he fully recovered from his injury from last year?
Trayvon.
Trayvon.
Yeah, I got you.
Bills,
you know what? He's playing, but I don't see. He's probably recovered, but I don't think he's just mentally in the right place to give the effort that he once was giving.
Is he jumping the ball? Like, that was a thing he usually did.
He would jump the ball.
Yeah.
He would jump the ball because it was one game. It was the Ravens. It was the Ravens game. If he jumped that ball, it was when Lamar threw, it was like 3rd and 8, and it closed out the game. If Trayvon did jump that and got the pick when the one time he should have jumped it, I believe we win that game. We would have won that game. But I feel like he's playing very hesitant and cautious right now. I do. I do feel like he's playing that way.
Well, I know one thing. No one better say we have not beaten a good team this year. Steelers is a good team.
So
give me credit.
Steelers are a good team. They're now 3-2.
3-2.
They're now 3-2. Dallas is now 3-2. But this is what I hate about when Dallas wins. I love it when Dallas wins because I'm a fan, but I hate when the haters are like, "Oh, they didn't beat a good team." Well, God damn it, the week 1, the Browns was a playoff team. They won 11 games last year. They beat them, and now we just beat going into that game was a 3-1 team. They beat them, and their star was there. TJ Watt played.
Yeah. No, people are like, well, Russell Wilson wasn't there. I'm like, no, I want to give him that. Fields has been doing his things. He's been playing this year.
If their argument is going to be that Russell Wilson didn't play, Russell Wilson ain't been Seattle Russell Wilson in years. I get it. He's married to Sierra, and they got a bunch of kids. He ain't thinking about football like that.
Do you need a Super Bowl when you got all that?
He gotta be on the lookout for Future and a disc record. He ain't thinking about football like that.
He's 1-2 stepping around the corner, see if Future's there, huh?
Shoot, that man ain't thinking about football like that. He done made his money, but you can say it was an ugly win, and I would agree with that. But at the end of it, I heard win.
Do you think Justin Fields has done enough to keep his job from Russell Wilson when he does come back from injury?
Yes. I mean, he's 3-2. He's 3-2. I'm not gonna say it's all gonna be relied upon this game tonight, and he blew it. Pittsburgh defense got to show up too. So I would say he has done enough to keep his job. I do believe at some point we are going to see Russell Wilson in the season. But for right now, I think he's done enough to keep his job. He still has a winning record.
I'm only going to say no because of contract and money. That's the only reason I'm going to say no.
Well, if you want to, as far as the contract and the money, I was just speaking on his ability to play, his playing ability on the field. But as far as the contract and the money and the financials, different story. Yeah.
Well, I had a video I was going to play because I was like, man, it looks like Dak's about to strike again. 2 interceptions, the 1 fumble. I was like, oh boy, here we go again. And I'm still gonna queue up this video that's from I think last week or the week before. Might be from last week. But you can give an answer still to Dak's statement in this video.
Okay, I'm about to play. Video.
Okay, here we go. Are you jumping off, or you still on with Dak?
Oh man, let me tell you
Oh,
something. I got my chain on right now.
all right.
I got as most of our followers can see. Well, I record most of my
So you're
my
not.
videos is upstairs in my man cave. I done painted a star on my wall.
Yeah. You done left the room. You off. You out of it.
Oh no. So right, like currently right now, my wife and my kids are upstairs because they was watching the game with me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna just like kick them out. I'll just take the laptop downstairs.
It's your room. That's why you made that room.
Well,
They took it over.
well, at least I got the downstairs. I'm in the kitchen. I got the good light, Anyway,
That's a good light.
but
That with the mirror in the
no,
background for is to reflect the light back on you.
yeah. But I mean, I'm in the kitchen. It's all good. But no, to answer the question, am I jumping off? No, I'm never gonna jump off. I've been a Cowboy fan since the '90s. I mean, at this point, I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess you can say. I mean, what more can these cats do? So no, I'm not jumping off. I do feel as if we got something, and being in the NFC East really helps. So being in the NFC East, we're at the least always competing for a playoff spot because the other teams are just a hit and miss. Um, so I feel like we got some. It's just you got to put it together. So nah, I'm not going to jump off, but I'm damn sure going to be critical and probably want to jump off at times, but I'm gonna stay aboard.
Wait, let's see. Did Philly play it? Did they
Philly
play
had a
it?
bye week.
They had a bye week. Damn, they already got a bye week. I'm about to say, damn.
Philly had a bye week. Washington won. Giants won.
So the Giants won.
Giants won.
Who did they beat? The Seahawks. Still though, the Giants. Come on.
Giants won. Washington won. Philly had their bye week. Yep.
Pretty competitive then so far.
It's shaping up to be pretty competitive. Again, I think the shocker is Washington. But they got that young quarterback and Daniel, so they got and they got our old defensive coordinator as the coach, Dan Quinn.
Yeah. All right. Well,
so what about you? You staying aboard? You jumping off? Where you at?
Okay, let me parse what I'm going to say. I'm not going to jump off as a fan. I was more say, am I going to jump off of this season's team as far as making the playoffs and making noise? That's kind of what I think about when. No, I'm not even go that far. Just making the playoffs. Am I going to jump off? I'm not going to jump off yet.
Yeah, I knew you was about to say yeah.
I'm not going to jump off yet, but we're entering a very rough stretch of the schedule. Probably like the next 4 or 5 games. And depending on what we do, if we can at least come out 500, I'll stay on.
Well, I think we making squeak by San Fran.
San Fran lost today.
San Fran took an L today. San Fran is not looking like the San Fran that we once knew of. And I mean, what was their running back Christian
McCaffrey rather
is out for the season,
more than likely.
So I feel as if I don't want to. I wish him the best. I hope he recovers, but
Debo's hurting.
When it comes to football, that's something you definitely take advantage of, and I think I counted San Fran as a loss in the beginning of the season, just because it's San Fran. We know what they can do. I think we can, if we can squeak by San Fran, we'll be in a good spot. Again, going back, I don't see us beating Detroit. I think we take one of the Philly games. We'll sweep the Giants. We'll play them again. We'll sweep them.
Yes, we got Lions next week, 49ers after that, Falcons, Eagles, Texans, Commanders, and the only I say easy game, maybe, is the Giants after the Commanders.
Now, a real big test is going to be that Texans game.
Yeah.
I believe the Texans game is going to really determine where we are as a team, where we stand, where we look, because it's in Dallas. I know it's in Dallas. I would like to go to it. I'm looking into some possibility of going, but it's in Texas. It's in Dallas, and that's going to be a real big test as to where we stand in the season. But I honestly think we make the playoffs. I think we make the playoffs, but we know what happens when Dallas get to the playoffs.
As a wild card or as a division winner?
Good question.
I'm say wild card.
I say wild card.
We got an extra spot, now because I think they added an extra spot anyway for the playoffs. Yeah. So
I say wild card. I will admit Washington is looking good, and if they're going to be a division title champion, it looks like Washington right now. So I'll say
it's just time because every year it changes for the NFC East, right? We haven't had 2 in a row that win the NFC East title for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. We won it last year. I believe Philly the year before. At one point it was the Giants were in the fray. When Eli Manning was whooping Tom Brady's ass in Super Bowls. But I give it to Washington right now. They're looking good. I do think we split the games up against Washington. I think we get one win against them. They'll get a win against us. But we'll see from there. So I think Dallas will. I think they'll get it together enough to squeak their way in the playoffs.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that then. So we're going to end the show on that note. And even though he predicts Dallas will lose to Detroit, he's hoping we do win. I hope we do win. I'm
hoping for a win. I won't even be able to watch that game because I know I'm gonna be traveling back here.
That's right. Because you come in down the wire.
Unless I watch it on my phone or something, I'm gonna be traveling back home because I'm gonna be there next week. So I hope we win, but I'm predicting a L. And again, keep in mind how we beat them last year.
Yeah, controversial win.
Yes, they ain't forgot that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jermaine predicts a L for Dallas, even though he hopes. We all hope. Some people hope with drug-infused thoughts. Some people have to drink to actually think we'll win a championship every year. We try to be honest. We try not to be fanatics. We try to be fans. Fanatics think we'll win every game. And we'll blow them out by 100 points. But fans can be honest.
I know that.
Yeah, we always can hope you win. I hope I win the lottery, but there's a big chance I won't.
If I win it tonight, it's like almost 1:00 here. If I win it tonight, I won't even. You know what? I will go to work. I often think about that. If I win the lottery, will I go to work?
To curse everybody else, like, I hate you, forget you, I like you. I hate you. I won't say what I really want to say.
I don't know. I would just go for the sake of, how you like when you feel like you're like, I don't gotta be here, so you can just be relaxed while you're there.
Yeah.
Like you will go do your job, but you're not pressed to do your job correctly or detailed. It's like, oh, I'm fired. All
right. I'll do this when I'm ready to do it, not when you tell me to do it. So
yeah. Eventually you'll get fired with that. Eventually you'll get fired with that mentality, but that's
He's like, oh, I'm fired. What money do I have? Oh, about $300 million. I'm going to buy your job and your wife. Not my wife. Why? Don't buy my wife. She's all I have. I'll buy your kids then. Sell them on the free market at McDonald's.
McDonald's. That actually sounds pretty good.
Don't
Or
do it,
In and Out. No, I don't want to go to In and Out right now.
man.
Too late.
Cookout, man. When you get to cookout,
Oh, trust me. As soon as I land in Raleigh.
All right, let's end it on that note. Thanks, guys, for checking us out. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe so you see future shows like this coming up, and what other show we have coming up. Where we're going to do reviews of movies and music, and of course, the Dallas Cowboys. All good things and bad things that come with this team. If you're a fan, you all well know it's been almost 3 decades.
Tragedy.
All right, let's end the show on that one. Peace, everybody. Thanks for showing up on tonight's late show, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Last Rewind. And Jermaine, go ahead and give him the trademark saying.
You know how we gonna do it? We're gonna respect the star.
That's right. Respect the star. We out.